screaming black power, cause it sells to the truth. Rivers filled with the bull and high hills. Native Americans but hurt, can't deal, cause they know damn well the trail of tears ain't real. Respect the Aborigine, this land is ours, we throw you all. You still a guest, motherfucker. I had one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me. I had one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me. House nigga, real nigga, fake nigga, feel nigga. My skin ain't black, what the deal, nigga? Salute on my real shit, it's Aborigines, owners of the land and every goddamn tree and every goddamn sea. Invaders ever cross to step foot on the land, and you can step the fuck off. Breathe, you can make us swing the sacred tomahawk. Fucking around with us with that black conscious talk. Fake pics of slave ships, that's the reference. If we African, look, you gon' need more evidence. I'm American, Aboriginal, indigenous. Your bogey DNA test, that shit is rhetoric. Stay woke, Aboriginal, get out. Your civil rights acts, all you can eat, big out. The Stockholm syndrome, make skits out. Phoenix Moon got the antidote, get that shit out. Meanwhile, I'm rapping about my birthright, fuck a freestyle. Teach each man, each woman, each child. Black races really Indians indeed now. Man, they indeed now. Holly Doe, Title 18, G goes. Pilgrims get re-go with Phoenix and Beast Mode. Bringing my peoples out of the sleep mode. We ain't black, colors, Africans, or Negroes. I had one little, two little, three little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling me much, telling me.
Go live. We about to go live, y'all. Here we go. Star Strike, Carrie Bate, Night Owl, Deshaun Mashburn, Wilmore Reed, Michael Brown, Lito. All right, y'all, here we go. What's up, Tasha?
Lito, you guys, we're about to start the open panel. So I hope everyone's joined themselves. Today is just the meet and greet, so I know a lot of people are jet lagged or just driving into town, so we just want to come together, learn a little tiny bit and learn each other, and then tomorrow we're going to have the main show. So we're going to have all the presentations tomorrow.
Hold on. Hey, y'all kind of loud. We trying to scream live, y'all. I need everybody to sit down. Get a seat, calm down a little bit. We're going to get this show on and popping, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. Tasha trying to talk, and I swear everybody's talking over Tasha, y'all. Can't nobody hear Tasha, y'all. Let's get it. Come on, y'all. She trying to talk to y'all. Let's go. What's going on, Tasha?
Okay. First of all, I see the beautiful children. We got a few children here. Some Indian babies, got some papooses in here. And we gotta create an environment where they're comfortable being who they are in their own land. They get smothered out by kids that think they're African, that think they're this, they're that, and they can be everything that they wanna be except an Indian. We wanna create a forum to where the children are comfortable and they are able to be around children that understand their history and who they are so that they don't feel isolated. I think that may have something to do with the amnesia that we kind of self-prescribed on ourselves, knowing what we heard from our ancestors, and we kind of took it for granted. And now some of us don't have them available anymore to ask those questions. So now some of us are even grandparents now, and we gotta, kind of do things a little differently and be more hands-on. We need to make grandparents cool again. We need to make family structure cool again, solidarity, sisterhood, brotherhood, being able to trust each other, do business with each other, honest dealings. Certainly we need to not be oppressed, and we need to learn how to combat oppression so that you're not worried about it. When you're not worried about it, it's probably gonna add 20 years left to your lifespan because there's just a lot of things that you're just not gonna be stressing. The people around you are not going to be stressing normal things that seem to be the uproar that everybody else does have to deal with. Now, I'm not saying people don't have situations and, they walking, minding their business, and a piano just falls on their head. A lot of that happens, but we need to be more in the loop of what's available in terms of solutions. We always know what the problem is. Everybody's got a problem. All of our problems are not all the same. Some of your problems and answers are in the 5 civilized tribes on the doors rolls. Some of your answers are there. That does not mean that you have the same situation as those that were misclassified. We have to know how to be able to assist people and not just put we're all Indians. That's the general thing that we can say. But we need to be able to compartmentalize so that we know how to help more people. A lot of people have problems with connections with their family, so it makes your search difficult. We want to be able to network, and we're going to start having genealogy classes where we can assess certain problems, help you get past brick walls. Some of you are very good self-starters. Cousin Davida was a novice. She's never seen a census record, and lo and behold, 2 years later, she's been finding relatives, and now she has branched out into learning about Barbados and their history with the Virginia and North Carolina and the South Carolina Indians. So there's a lot of information that could be told about that. And that also contributes to what we know about genealogy. It helps us to narrow down the geographical migrations of our people that are not talked about. When it looked like a whole bunch of Negroes just got up and moved from Virginia, and you wonder how they ended up in Mississippi. It becomes to where your last names tell me where you're from in the world. Everybody has a last name, whether they're from here or they're foreign. Even Mansa Musa, they have a name. The people that were related to that man has a name, and it's not Musa. So there's a genealogy that is specific to every race of people here, have these specific surnames, and they come from different places. You can tell that people had earlier migrations through different variations of the name, even when they anglicized the name, and we took on certain European or colonizers' names that we had treaties with or that we became kinfolk with, because some of them are our kinfolk, and when you start going back on the tree, you can't hide them. You don't want to, because now what we have to identify with, once it goes back to 1600s, where else are you going to go? The white colonizer that married into your family, that is where you would go after that. This is how you end up going off into the 1500s, the 1400s, because their records are completely documented in a totally different way. So that's how you get back to, once you get past your pre-colonial, you know you are going to be attached to someone that came from somewhere else. They married into your family. You will still find your maternal line and establish that you are Indian, but this is how you end up going back to the 1100s. And you'll be surprised who these royals came in here messing with these royals. They did not come and mess with the bottom barrel or the barrel or the one of the litters. They had to marry into our matriarchal systems. So if me and my sisters, the men that we married, they would join into our father's family or our family's industry. That was where they got their status from. The women are the ones that made the chiefs, right? So we have certain things that we can use, and then there's certain things that probably should stay where they are. We don't have to go digging up every single ritual or thing that we think is absolutely Indian, because we know what our grandma and them did, and our grandma and them did what her grandma and them did, and their grandma and them did what their grandma and them did. So it's not that we don't have a culture, we just have to be able to identify what's ours. Potato salad is ours, right? Cornbread is ours. Bring the cornbread back. That's all we're doing. We don't need to be mad at any other group of people. We don't have to do any of that to be able to self-identify. With that comes some civic responsibilities. We are going to be teaching basic civic courses. And the reason why we have to teach civic courses, because if you have to understand why things are the way they are, it's not because the system is broken, it's because we don't understand it. And broken people have perpetuated and placed themselves in a perpetual situation where they're able to control these things because we decided we didn't want to do those things. And we hired other people to do it. And this is what they've done while, they've been out to lunch for a long time. So now we need to know how to push some issues and certainly make sure that you are aware of your rights, the people that you care about are aware of their rights, and at least you stand a chance. You don't have to just take every L. You don't have to take every loss as if that's just a promise to a bunch of people that no one's ever going to treat right. You can't possibly believe that. We've been through everything and we still standing, and don't none of y'all look like nothing that you've been through. From 8 to 80. So with that being said, I think that people need to give themselves more credit. This stuff is available. There's a lot of wasted time on a bunch of different things. And if you could be checking in on your ancestry, you will be surprised. If you stuck on one grandparent at the 3rd generation, guess what? You got 31 other people that you can look in on. And there's going to be plenty of information. You're not going to come up with a blank on everybody. That's not true. You're not going to come up with a whole bunch of slaves where all 32 of those grandparents were slaves. And when you see a slave, identify what kind of slave it is. It doesn't mean that it's an African slave, because you'll still have to prove that. They could have been from Tennessee and got taken into Kentucky. They could have been in Florida and got taken into Virginia. So those are some of the things we want to explore. You see mass migrations with different families. Nothing happens by happenstance. We have ended up finding direct lineages with a lot of people in our online community, bloodline relatives, more than 10 different pairs of common ancestors, and now we know that we have a different type of tribe up that can't nobody touch. We got the same grandparents. What are we going to do about that? We can link up. Maybe you can't get your auntie and them to listen to you, but we have a common enemy, a common beef, a common grievance, a common concern. What's some of the things that they've done? They've messed up the census record. So whether or not you find a record that says, hey, look what I found, my grandfather was a chief, it doesn't damn matter, because if he was brothers with our grandfather that was a chief, then what does that make you too? So this is why I think a lot of people got discouraged. They were still finding documents that say black, that say Negro, but you know, and then you may even find in certain states where they tore off the little bit of the corner and Africanized some of the males, right? And this was also a way to discredit them so that they wouldn't still have problems when it came down to voting, and then they'd see if your grandfather had a felony because they had poll taxes and all sorts of different things. If they didn't have $1, they wasn't going to be able to vote. And if they wasn't able to vote, they didn't have any say. And then when they tried to vote, they got rocks thrown at them. You should see there's some court records with just your grandparents getting arrested after somebody bust them upside their head so they can go vote. And they had to pay 50 cents, and the white person that bust them upside the head would pay a nickel and be out 10 minutes later. So there's a lot of different things. We got to be careful when it comes down to things that look like they're very popular, like ADOS. And I'm all for African Americans getting reparations, but you got to know what it is that you're getting. And they have no idea what it is that you're getting. You have to identify certain factors, and they haven't been able to do it. Tahisi Coates, I don't know if you guys were able to see what he put together, and I think he did 14. It was a really popular Netflix series, or 13 or something like that. It was 13, excuse me. And what he wrote up, it was awful. It had a whole bunch of foreign people that you know damn well their folks were not here in the 1860s, 70s. They were not here. It's impossible that they're gonna find any connection to these people in antiquity in America. So who's left in America that hasn't found their antiquity? We shared the fact that Donald Trump got up there and told black people need to check on their history. They need to check on their ancestors and see what's been going on. So if he's racist and all black people were slaves, why the hell would he tell black people, black Americans, before y'all go ripping down them statues, you might want to see where you've been? Because you don't know. And now they're tearing down your evidence. Reparations what? It's a big hype. People going to stand by it. It's going to gain momentum. And if you get a check, it may be $250,000. It may be. And that's it. There's no more they killing us. There's no more Black Lives Matter. Everything goes away. That $250,000 make all your pain go away. And there's some niggas that's pretty cheap. And they going to buy that ticket. Why can't we have a perpetual toll from all the foreigners that come in here and get a utility bill? 5 cents off of every you get a phone bill? Oh, okay. You get the light bill? 5 cents. And we put it into our self-governing communities. 5 cents. From everybody that comes into our country and get to eat before the rest of us. We've got to even, I think that a lot of these so-called black leaders, they don't even know what they're supposed to be asking for. Air is definitely nothing you're supposed to be asking for. Freedom in 2020, not something you're supposed to be asking for. It's not even something you're really supposed to have to demand. You may have to remind somebody what your entitlements are, and people have not been able to do that. Psychologically, it has caused people to think that they are inferior. You hear the words white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. You're giving them all the goddamn juice in the world. How can it be true? And if it was true, if it was me, you'd be cocky as hell trying to outdo me. What make them so special you don't want to outdo them? I got a problem with the equality thing, and I'll just keep talking about that, because if you want to be equal to who people say is the biggest devil on the planet, then that means you want to rule over me. Because I don't agree with them devils all, but that means you want to be the same devil as them so you can oppress a group of people too. That's how I think of equality. I don't know. White women have babies, I have babies. She sit down when she go to the bathroom, I sit down. And white man, the world is his bathroom. Man of color, the world is his bathroom too. What's different? Taking on all of this stuff that's going on in the news, people's brains are warped with worry. Worry, worry, worry. You shortening up your life, running up your sugar, constricting them blood vessels, about to catch a damn stroke. There's a lot of things that could be done in the downtime. Most of it should be spent with the surviving family members you got left trying to get some shit together and start practicing racism. You and your bloodline, you and your son, open up a business. You and your daughter, open up a business. Do something together. Do something together. Commit to each other. Outside of just relationships, because sometimes that don't work. But I know if we getting money together, the last thing we both want to do is make each other mad or put each other's ego in the way. We have to make families okay. We have to stop shaming the women that's having a lot of babies. We running out of grandmas. Some of them still in the club. The kids are not going to be able to distinguish anything. Any type of multi-generational authority. We're going to have a serious situation. I don't know how people feel about it. And you really shouldn't feel too much. You should do more. We've been failing a long time. I feel like they holding me back. I fail. We've been failing a lot. We've been failing a lot, but not doing a lot. We need to feel less and do more. And there's a lot of things that we can do. You can do things locally. Don't be caught off by surprise. Know who is on your councilman deciding stuff for you that you don't even know what's going on. And then when you run into a problem, when it's a peaceful time, that's when you introduce yourself. Don't wait until they want to go upside your head and be like, I need to find a sergeant. I need to know. You don't want to ask when it seems and comes across as belligerent. They're not going to want to give you any attention. But if you know who everybody is, the only surprise will be them when they know who you are. Everybody got different things going on in their state. And those things got to be tackled unless you want to move out your country to a place where you'll have better liberties and freedoms. And when I say move out your country, some of the things that go on in New York, it's not really for the people. It's maybe 2-3 things in the preamble that is for the people. Everything else, what do the people got to do with the lottery? You'll kick my door, and if I got a number spot, they're lying. What are they talking about? But meanwhile, all of this has been going on, and all these foreigners have been enjoying racketeering while they lock our children up, and we go our children. These people, we go and right in our face, and nobody knows. They think it's just business as usual, and it's a lie. You got to scratch the lie to find the thief. We can't be shadow boxing like Ricky and Boys in the Hood. You got to know exactly who it is that's supposed to be showing you a little more respect than they do. But most importantly, I think that as far as the genealogy is concerned, these records are here. They're in all different areas. It's not just the census records. You definitely want to read different books. If you see the names populate, you probably want to check it out. It's not just the census records. There's so many other places and ways that you can attach yourself. And we're going to get into some of those things tomorrow. I know some of the people said that they don't have specific Georgia history, so that's not going to be an issue. But when we do visit these states, we want to make sure that the people in their home state know exactly what's going on, how they may have gotten there, what was going on in pre-colonial history, what the law is there where they're living at now. So everybody will be aware. Every single state has a constitution. Every single state has a different history with our ancestors in it. Even Arizona, even when they moved out west, we have been able to track a lot of these people down, and they're still Indian. Whether they went over there and they started calling them white over the 1920s and 30s or whatever, they started out Indian in Virginia or started out Negro or mulatto here. So I want people to make sure that this is what you want, because everything that you find out is not going to all be about just you being Indian. You'll find different things, you related to criminals, you related, I mean, the same thing that happens now happens then. So it is true with, nothing new under the sun, and that is really true. So you got to have the stomach for it, especially when it comes down to certain tribes. They had beef. Every last one of our ancestors were not all friendly with each other. There's some of them were pummeling and sworn mortal enemies, probably to this day, for all we know. But that's the thing too. So we all got different backgrounds. We are all a part of different tribes, and like I always say about me and my sister, we're part of a bunch of squabbling tribes as you walk through the generations. There is a Latin saying, a general legal saying that says it's a tree when it grows and it's wood when it's dead. So if you leave the tree, 2 generations, the information's gone. That has happened to a lot of us, and we're looking to fill that gap now. So 2 generations is all it takes to forget or not know anything about who you are or where you come from.
So do any of you have any questions about genealogy or what Phoenix just spoke about? Do you have anything to add or?
Yes. Callie, can you bring up they have questions? Can somebody bring those questions? Oh. So we had some people in the audience ask a few questions. Some people are new here. Let's see. So there's a couple of them. How am I to understand that I'm not black if I've been taught all my life that I'm black? Well, from my understanding, I'll give you from my understanding, and I'll tell you historically. From my understanding, we've all been told that we were black, and that's essentially what we were called. And I think that was for protection purposes, not because that's who we really are. Because the moment that you find out that you are Indian and you start living and acting as such, the whole world becomes crazy, and everybody that you once identified with has a little bit of, I don't know, there's some contention that becomes there. I don't know if it's because of frustration out of belief that they are attached to somewhere else, or if it is frustration because you can attach yourself here and they can't. Perhaps they can't. So I suggest that you look up the word black, look up the origin, where it came from, and certainly if that's how you identify, you have the right to do that. I think that you should personally do your genealogy, find out if in fact you are black, because that would place you in one of the countries And it doesn't mean that you originated there, because a lot of people migrated into Africa and not out of. So wherever it is that you attach yourself, it would be to one of those undisclosed groups, and the burden of proof would be for you to attach yourself to one of those peoples in that land. And not only that, that could include white people. That can also include white people. Charlize Theron, she's an African woman. Doesn't mean that we like it or not, or what the mental picture is. That's really what it is. And they've been there 400 or 500 years too. So who was there first? That's not our discussion, but you gotta attach yourself to a people in order to make it true. It doesn't mean that what you believe isn't true, but you have to attach yourself to that. So what if you are African? Attach yourself to those people. They got last names. They're still living, kin available. Tribe up. It goes the same way for everybody. All oppressed people have to tribe up. They are forgetting to practice racism amongst themselves and their own people. Everybody wants to join into somebody else. We've went into other people's industries. We've made other people billions and billions of dollars. We forgot about ourselves. We're mad because we're underpaid. We're overworked. So if we can boss up, help these people boss up, why can't we boss up for ourselves? Right? So now here comes with these other dynamics that prove that we're too hard on each other. If our children write on the wall, a parent will be like, oh my God, you messing up my security deposit. Why would you write on the wall or whatever? And sometimes there's other studies that say a white lady would be like, oh my God, Jeremy, I'm gonna get you an easel. And then the next thing you know, the little Billy's a damn Van Gogh, a Rembrandt. So creatively, everybody's not an academic. We've been chasing academics, and all these accomplishments. Some women haven't had children because they wanted to finish school. And now they 45, almost 50 years old and don't have one baby, and they like, damn, I done let this shit go. And now school ain't showing them, giving them all the food that they wanted. So there's so many different things that we can be in different positions, whatever it is that, but you got to be true to yourself as an Indian, any way you put it. If you feel like you're a true African man or a true black man, find out where they come from, and you can definitely see what it is that has been done against those people. That's for anybody that's oppressed. But other than that, black doesn't give you any standing in law here in America. Hasn't worked out well for anybody, from my understanding. Well, except the people that have been oppressing other people that pose as black people, but they're really not the same kinfolk, because all skinfolk ain't kinfolk, and clearly they have an agenda that doesn't suit you. Perhaps they want equality a little more, and they're willing to sit side by side with your other pale oppressors to oppress you. I would call that part of white supremacy too. You gotta call it the same thing. Tasha, so we have another question. Who will be willing to help me find my people if I don't have the resources?
Well, basically, like Phoenix said earlier, we're coming together to have a genealogy, like series of classes that will help you do that. Okay, so everyone has the ability to find their own family members, but some people just don't know what resources to go to. So we're just gonna give you all the resources that we know of and all the different tricks of the trade that we have used over the years. So it's gonna make it easier for you. The benefit to you for that is gonna save you a lot of time and energy, right? So that's basically what we're gonna do with that. There's plenty of resources on the internet, pages like the National Archives. There's a whole bunch of different resources available to you for free. All you got to do is go in there and search it. They got military records, they got records from overseas, they have deeds, the land. I think they have the land resources records on there too. So.
Yes, indeed. There's another question. The other question was, when parents or relatives say we are Blackfoot Indian, what does that mean? Is there such a thing as Blackfoot? Absolutely. Absolutely. From my understanding, Blackfeet were primarily from North Carolina. I think they're a mixture of Indians that went up north. If I had to guess, I would say Tuscarora. Some of the right.
The Blackfoot are not, all the people who claim to be Blackfoot aren't necessarily from the Blackfoot tribe. A lot of people are different small Siouan tribes as well as Algonquian tribes. There's actually a Blackfeet tribe that's Algonquian, right, from the Midwest, and a lot of them, people don't know, a lot of them moved down to the south into Mississippi and Louisiana, and then from there they went to Texas, and they came further and further up the coast to North Carolina. So if someone in your family said they're Blackfoot, it doesn't necessarily mean they're Blackfeet. It's actually like, for example, in North Carolina, they have the North Carolina Tar Heels. Tar Heels are Blackfoots, right? Blackfeet. So the tribes in that area, they used to use tar on their feet instead of shoes. So that's what like some people would call themselves the Blackfoots. So when you have those people on your tree, you're gonna look for those areas. Like I said, some people are actually from the Plains Indians, from Montana, coming down to Louisiana and Mississippi, and other people over in the Carolinas. So you're gonna look for those tribes, like the Chira and what's the other one, Chowin? Different tribes like that are really who they're talking about. But people didn't, just like when people say they're Cherokee, they might be from other smaller Iroquois-speaking tribes.
And I know there's something interesting also about Blackfoot from the Tidewater area. They ended up in Minnesota in Fort Snelling, which is an Indian fort. Right in Minnesota, Dred Scott was there. His wife was there also, the woman he married, Harriet Robinson. You'll also see them on an 1850 census in North Carolina. In fact, it was Halifax County. So there's definitely some sort of Siouan connection there, primarily just for those two places. So that would be that a lot of them could have come from that side down into North Carolina, Virginia area. Not everybody originated there. So we do have another paper out there. Did anybody finish? Somebody else has some questions? You have one? Yes. Well, sometimes Louisiana is going to be narrowed down to a territory.
Hey, finish.
Specifically, it could have been just a town.
Can you repeat that question for the people can hear what he said?
Okay. You wanna come up? Come on. Come on up. Come sit up here. Come sit up.
Said if Louisiana was once a part of Florida, for those who don't know that Louisiana was once part of Florida, how do we go about distinguishing the timeline of Louisiana and Florida for the, I guess, to say what different tribes or names that you will go by from the years, from those times?
It's really going to come down to your knowledge of history, which a lot of people don't realize, that you have to know a little bit of history to know your genealogy as well for placing the timelines like that. So you're going to have to go back and look at the history of Louisiana and see what time period that they were West Florida and what time they changed over to Louisiana. So around, I think probably around the Louisiana Purchase, a little bit before that is when that big change.
Florida, this is why they had to dismantle them. So all in this time, you'll still see a bunch of wars that happened. While they say all this slavery was going on, it was always a war over these borders, and our grandfathers was always knee-deep in it. So this is why we're like, you need to look, just so you can be like, okay, well, where the slaves at? Yo, ask yourself, like, I thought they said. So West Florida, those parishes, you had East Florida. What are the other states that border Louisiana? Mississippi, Texas. The same Spanish name, right?
I mean, these questions I already know. These questions I already know a lot of the answers about, but I know there's some of the people that haven't got as far as I have gotten will want to ask these same questions that I have already, took the time to find out things of that nature. So that's why I asked these questions.
Right. Thank you so much. Well, I'll tell you what, some of those records are going to be Spanish records because Texas didn't exist in 1818 or 1817 when Mississippi was established, when Alabama was established. Texas was still a part of Mexico. half of Oklahoma was still a part of Mexico. So there's some form of portions of Louisiana that probably got shrunken as a result of conflicts between Texas, Spanish, United States. So there's going to be different conflicts with Indians that people haven't even heard of and still don't realize that there's a strong connection here. So thank you so much for the questions. Who else got some questions? Anybody else? Sister right there, you had any genealogy questions?
Well, since I've been doing my research on my own genealogy, I have only been able to go back like 2 generations on my mother's side, but 4 on my father's side. But Coach was telling me like to more focus on my mother's side, so that's what I need help with because I'm stuck like right there at them two. So, like I know they all was from Virginia. That's the furthest that I can find anything about them. Like they didn't navigate from nowhere else. So, but I know on my father's side, he told me that they're Indian. Like my great-grandmother, my great-great-great-grandmother is Indian. So, but I don't know about my mother's side though. So.
Both parents from Virginia?
No, my father's from Georgia, and then my mother's from Virginia. Yeah.
Virginia is a very good state. Virginia, Massachusetts, any of the New England states documented really well. Even though in the South they had a lot of fires, there's a lot of things that didn't burn. Again, we're not just looking for census records. There's books that people wrote about, you know, specific things, their genealogy. It will include different families that lived on the land and surrounding families, who their neighbors were. There's gonna be things that your family invented, that they created. You won't know unless you find out, and unless you look. You can be sitting on top of Big Bang, and the problem is, a lot of people are benefiting off of the things you don't even know you have.
My sister's side of the family, her father's side of the family have like 86 acres of a apple orchard laying down there, but her grandfather couldn't read, so someone like bought it, gave him a piece of paper saying he was renting it or whatever the case may be. So now they have the land, but it really belongs to them. So that's why I brought her here, so that she could be able to do hers, so she can be able to get that piece of land because it don't belong to them. Why they giving all the apples to, you know what I'm saying? So when you said that earlier, I was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Virginia has all the deed records and things like that in the Library of Virginia for every county. So you gotta try to specify which county that you think they're from. You know the county, well, you definitely be able to contact them. They have like all the records there. Like even some of the burn records, miraculously, people have found them in the attics and things, and they have donated to the Library of Virginia. So a lot of records, you know, dealing with us, people, free people of color, and enslaved people are being digitalized and put on the website.
Because my grandmother's land that she have down there, it's historic now. Like they have made it a historic landmark, and I'm just like, okay, well, how did y'all even get this land? Like, I'm confused, and I need to know, like, how did y'all, like, what happened? She died, and then y'all just, you know, took over it or whatever.
Well, what you're gonna have to do is try to go back. You can go to actually the county clerk, if you know the county. Those people usually are able to help you, and you just go in there and file the deed book with them in it, get you a real estate lawyer who will be able to, you know, litigate that for you.
Right, and it'll have to go through probate as well, because it's heirship. So it have to go through probate. You can check land patents. Sometimes those land patents say just what person owned it. Janet the Indian, right? Janet Robinson, the Indian woman, owned by the Hickory Farm, the White Oak Tree, bought 100 acres from, right. So it's there. And the counties. To find out what time the counties were established. Like Mecklenburg, Virginia was part of Lunenburg, you know, so the county seat moved. Like Montgomery, Alabama, the city of Alabama actually moved different places before it was where it is right now. So you gotta find out what the county was. Wikipedia has a really good tool. They show you the timeline of every county and every state, what it was called, what portions of land they took from this portion, this parish, or this county to make this county. Yeah. And you can tell what side was closer. You can tell what side was closer by what the post office says, because a lot of times the city seat doesn't really change. So where the county seat is closer to the older state, that's going to be part of where you'll find the records at.
And then I also was going to say that, like, for example, my family, you would know, like, what tribe or where they come from by sometimes the name of the district. Like, my family, they have the land deed for Mango Hick, and that is a Powhatan word. It's a Pamunkey word, so I was able to trace her back to the Pamunkey and the Mattaponi in that area. So in Virginia, a lot of the towns and a lot of the districts are named with tribal names, so that's an easy clue right there.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Anybody else have any other questions?
Okay. So, my question is, I have a lot of Virginia in my genealogy, so that was easier than a lot of other places. That's gone great. Mississippi, my great-grandmother she just turned 96 this year. She's still alive. I live with her. And when I'm doing my genealogy, she's a tremendous resource, because if I tell her things, she'll just say, oh, I remember that. There was, and it'll bring stuff to her memory. So she's really helped me a lot, but Mississippi is a nightmare to go through. It's really a nightmare. I've even called the counties. I've had random people in the county just, say, oh yeah, we'll get that for you tomorrow, and never get back to me any day. Yeah.
You're gonna have to pull up on Mississippi. But we don't have Mississippi, but tomorrow, we have somebody from Louisiana that does genealogy in Mississippi and Louisiana primarily. So they're kind of interchangeable. So we'll have somebody help you tomorrow. Okay?
Oh, and you also got to know, Mississippi, they just ratified ending slavery in 2013, so that's telling you a lot. You, like she said, you gotta pull up, you gotta go down there, because they're not gonna help you. They're gonna pretend like they're gonna help you, but they're really gonna hinder you.
They're not. Hey, this is the game all the way from Chi-Town.
Chicago. Okay, I was wondering about Oklahoma because the last matriarch in my family, I just talked to her yesterday. She's 76, so she gave me a lot of information. So she said that they came from Oklahoma, but they got shooed out and they went to Monroe, Arkansas. So is that a hard state? A difficult state? No?
No. Arkansas and Oklahoma has tons of records. That's their neighbors next door. There's tons of information, and again, keep in mind, your folks are gonna predate Oklahoma. Oklahoma was only established in 1907. Some of us got grandmas older than 1907. So, yeah.
Okay, and then when we're starting, should we start with the, how should we start? Should we start with the, should I like start with my grandmother's mother, the one that where do I start? At the oldest person that I know information about, and it was with that the name, the birthday, how should I start?
Start with yourself. Start with your children, your sisters and brothers. You start with your parents. You build your tree, you go for yourself, and then you go for your parents, and then you add your siblings. Go up one side, whether it's mom's side first, go up mom's side. Mom's mother, mom's dad, both grandparents, they multiply each generation. So you have 4 grandparents, you'll have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great-grandparents. So it multiplies by the 4th generation. That's 64 people, 64 relatives that you now know. So that's going to be at least, about 160 years? Right.
Don't forget the siblings, too, when you're doing that, because sometimes the siblings hold clues that you don't, like your parents might not have, but your uncle's going to have a clue on who your great-grandfather is. by looking at his military records. So you gotta, like, even if you don't want to do it, you know, if you come across it, just add it into your notes for later reference, because it might be a big jewel.
Sorry. She's going to be the one that you got to get the information from. Now, if you and with that, we're going to help you tomorrow. So we'll be able to go. Do you have any information on your paternal side, on your dad's side? On that side, then you do. Yes, we're going to have something for you to take to your auntie. Yes.
And just for the audience, she gave me some good information. She told me about some games they played in trees down there. So she gave me like landmarks, you know, when I started going to look. And she did tell me it was good that I called her, because she said she's 76, so she's the only one that really have all the information to the family. So this was one of the reasons why I traveled. I thought that it was most important because I am the only one in the family that's really interested in learning. So I feel that it's my responsibility so that I could give it to the rest of the family. Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Yes, the sister called me, said she was getting on a plane and she was going to be here. And I said, you call me when you land. I can't wait to see you. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Come on. Do you? Come on. There's some stairs right here, sister.
Ain't got no money.
So I have a question just to see if it's gonna be for other people out there like me. I come from a family where they name the males after the father. And my Brown side, there's a Frank Brown that keep going all the way back. I'm stuck at my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather. He wasn't married to my great-great-grandmother, and when he passed in Tennessee, but I don't have a birth date. I don't have nothing, because after my great-grandfather was born, he left. And I was told that he had another family in Tennessee, but I can't find anything on him. Now, when people have situations like that, what would you suggest them to do?
Do they have the same last name as the parent that left, or no? You said no?
Frank Brown is a common name.
That is a very, very common name. There's going to be a military record that has more information on him. It'll have a birth date. Certainly if he was a veteran, his headstone, it'll have his correct birth date. The draft records, you'll be able to see whether it was World War I, World War II. They should be adding some new ones. It's a good thing to look at, what is it, defense.com or something like that. It's the Department of Defense, and you can look at the history of different wars, and they give you all these links of where to find these military skirmishes that involved a lot of our people that are disguised as other wars. Even the Revolutionary War is somehow a Chickamauga war. Yeah. Right, and they paid handsomely.
So I am a Brown too, and a lot of the Brown men are enlisted in the military, and they fought in the Revolutionary War. All the wars that were fought in the United States, the Brown men fought in. So you will be, like she said, you'll be able to find them. For Franklin, you know, like the county and stuff that he's from. So I remember you were in Virginia, you were looking.
My family tells me stuff that, like, all over the place. Everybody keeps saying different stuff. Like, they'll be like, no, they didn't have no middle initial, they didn't have no middle name. But then I hear, oh, they did have a middle initial, so then I go looking it up. If Frank A. Brown is not giving me no direct either, because that's a very common name. So, and then they go back and forth about Chattanooga, Tennessee, or It's a county inside of Arkansas. I can't think of it right now because there's so many places in Arkansas they went to. But they was in Arkansas and Tennessee, and I keep going back and forth. The only Frank Brown that I can go far back on is my great-grandfather. I can't go further back than him.
Did you find any siblings? No brothers or sisters?
He had a sibling, but he wasn't a Brown. My great-great-grandmother got married and had a baby by another guy. So my great-grandfather is the only Brown.
So him being the only Brown, the Rolling Stone may have had other children that would still be his siblings. There would be some information because you know who the mother is, but you're looking on documentation on the father. You can, and depending on what year it is, what year are you talking about with your great-grandfather? You look kind of young, so.
This is 1920.
20s, you should find a good deal of information. I think you may be overlooking. Your Browns is probably right in your face and you're just scrolling past it, and you're looking for something else, and that's your Brown. Trying to eliminate it. Certainly you can do comparative things, look at the location. Is it consistent from 1920 to 1930 within a 10-year time? There's also city census or state census records. So certain states like Alabama was every 2 years. They do a state census every 2 years. New York does one every 5 years. That doesn't have anything to do with the decennial federal census. So find out what your state census, even sometimes counties have censuses too.
Oh, and then another thing for the Browns, if you go on a website called freeafricanamericans.com, they have the whole genealogy of the Browns on there. So you can see if your Frank connects to the rest of the Browns. And we all descend from William Brown in Jamestown, Virginia. So you got to see if you connect. I told like several other people about that, and they have actually connected to our family. So I'm pretty sure freeafricanamericans.com. And that, even with that name, the author admits that he's hiding a lot of Indians under that title. He has genealogy for, most of the genealogies on there are of Indian families. And he has actually pictures of some of the people, so if you are looking for family photos, you might be able to find something on there. But it's a great, like,
That's who, freeafricanamericans.com. That is going to be like a go-to. They have different miscellaneous things that you don't look for. I want you to look at the main page of that website, and it gives you different details about different states. Now, there is a particular section that gives details primarily on North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina. You see the migration patterns, you see the court records. It tells you what film to find your tax records, what film, what page number. It gives you specific detail. So when you go to the archives, another thing, you can have them help you. The Mormons, they don't charge much. You can have them help you, but they don't know what to look for. You don't want to go in there telling them what you're looking for either, right? So if you know that they can find your basic starter kit information, you can do that. If you feel like it'll be faster to have that happen, you got some time to kill, definitely let them start. But they might stop you at 1860, and that's okay.
I personally had experience at the National Archives, and they somebody from 1930. They were like, "Oh, I don't see anything. I don't think I don't have any records." So you're gonna have to go there with a list of things that you're looking for, because that archive is huge, and you don't get no cell phone service, so you can't really hop on to your ancestry, whatever you use. You're gonna have to have everything listed, and you're gonna have to search everything that day, because it's so taxing to be up in there. It's like you're in the bottom of a basement jail cell or something. You don't want to be in there long, so.
Hi, how are you? I have a question. I've done my genealogy, some part. I've gotten stuck on my great-great-grandmother. They have on the birth certificate Outlaw, L-A-R, but I think it's Outlaw. Yeah. They're from here. Everybody was born and died here, but I don't. Yes.
Outlaw is a very popular name. I believe that they, I haven't seen it in a few years, but I remember there's at least 3 people in an American Indian community that I know for sure has tons of outlaw information. I will make sure you get in touch with him. He's got some stuff and you guys can compare and see if you find any common relatives. He specifically beat up that outlaw line. Like it was just like, okay, well, okay. He found a lot of information on that line. So he knows a lot about their migration patterns, where they lived, who their kin was. And I'll make sure you guys know who each other are.
The great-grandfather left the great-grandmother with 5 girls and took the boy. So I thought that he might have went to the Trail of Tears. But over doing my genealogy, all the men were enlisted. All of them were in the service. I didn't even know that. So he was a survivor of the Confederate Union. They're saying he was freedman.
That's your clue right there, because the Cherokee and the Creeks, a lot of them fought for they fought for the Confederacy. So you might be able to find, you said you found those records?
He's a snail, and it's a city here called Snellville. And I found out that it's a great uncle, and that we're related to Henry VIII and Levi Stratus. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That's exactly how that happens. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. But that's exactly how that happens. So when you find the oldest relative here, there's somebody else that they were doing business with. There was some other arrangement. They were also going back and forth to Europe. If they had a treaty with France, do not be surprised if you see your free-colored grandpa coming back on a boat from France, departing from New York on his way to France, or departing from wherever in England on his way back by way of France. They certainly traveled. I have tons of stuff from our ancestors going to Scotland, going into Europe at all different times, and they were going to chill. They were not going because in chains or anything like that. From going to see comedy plays. There's also, there's a place that they had a training camp. And this training camp had a lot of Indians going somewhere in London or in England, and it has to be some sort of treaties attached to it. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that fall off the whip. Sometimes there's places that they went and they didn't come back. If your grandfather went to work on the Panama Canal, maybe he didn't come back. If he went to work on the Suez Canal after the 1860s, after emancipation, a lot of men left. They got paid 3 times the amount of money. They had hella bills, and they went to work on the Suez Canal, which separated Africa from what they now call the Middle East. So there was tons of work. They went to California, to the West Coast. Also, they found other women, and maybe they didn't come back, but they still over there. There's always going to be some sort of record, some sort of clue that you'll be able to attach them to these prospective places.
And then I was going to add that if you find these ancestors that were from Europe, then they weren't white all the time. And that's what a lot of people don't know. And you're looking like, well, how my ancestors are from Europe is because they look like this, you know what I'm saying? So there's plenty of records that they don't talk about that has Europeans listed as dark skin, black in color, you know, tawny, all different descriptions. And once you start digging more, you're gonna find that.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all came. Y'all beautiful Indians. I'm so glad y'all came. Can't hear you. What'd you say? No, what is it? The 90s. Moor, M-O-O-R, foreigner. Mur, M-U-U-R, foreigner. Washtamor, not a real tribe. Maybe that woman, Ms. Verdiasi, she may have been Indian, but not a Washtamor. Has nothing to do with us here.
Yeah, I actually talked to some people who are related to her, and they said that their family are not Moors. So it's other people that were associated with her that were kind of pushing that to her, and when her health was declining, they kind of manipulated her with those rhetorics. But her ancestors are Tunica and Washita and Chata. So I hope that answers your question.
All right, y'all. Hold on one second.
All right, y'all. I want to thank everyone for coming out. We got a photo thing that we're about to do, and while we're doing that, we're gonna have Omar. We're gonna get a little entertainment, but really, tonight was really the meet and greet. We wanted to be able to talk to you all, because tomorrow we have a lot of people with big bills. You know, everybody want to get their workout and make sure that everybody, you know, understand what's going on. So it's a lot of speakers tomorrow. We will be up here around 12 o'clock tomorrow. We're gonna start a little early so everybody be able to get in and we can get breaks and everything else. But it's gonna be a full pack of information day, all day tomorrow. So don't miss out. Bring your notepad, charge up your phone, make sure that, you know, you can get this information. Now with me, it's gonna be more targeted with Georgia, because we're here in Georgia and a lot of people here are from Georgia. Now a lot of people we thank you all for visiting, because when we come to your state, we're gonna have that work for your state as well. But for the major part of the bill for tomorrow, we will be helping people like with the cab show that's doing Section 3 and HUD and all different type of block grants and different things, so you can get started with your farms and getting loans and getting, like the young man over here, you're gonna get all type of opportunities by going through Section 3 and also, you know, claiming who you are, by proving who you are, first of all. So make sure y'all get y'all some rest tonight, because it's gonna be a full day tomorrow, all right? So with that being said, I wanna give the ladies a round of applause for helping everybody out, answer y'all questions. Okay, all right, so while the ladies are coming off the stage, I'm gonna introduce Omar, Crazy with 2 E's. Crazy. I'm gonna let him chop it up with y'all for a minute while we get the photos set up, so everybody could get their pictures and stuff and have memories. All right? Omar Crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all come on, put your hand together, put your hand together, put your hand together. Put your hand together. I know I'm late as hell. Y'all ain't been waiting on me though. Y'all doing all right? I smell that seafood in here. Ooh, ooh. Y'all look good. You ain't done, I know y'all probably looking at me crazy here, like what I'm doing up here. I'm finna tell a little bit something like some jokes. A little bit something like that. That nigga already laugh. Y'all gotta forgive him, that my little cousin. That nigga, he big, but he got a small tape line. He crazy now. Hey, y'all don't know he was born with no eyelids. Yeah, they had to take the skin from his circumcision and put him on his eyelid. Say he was cockeyed. Yeah, y'all look good in here though. Where everybody from? Anybody Georgia? Georgia. I know Georgia here. Ain't nobody in here from Georgia. Oh, throw your hand up. Yeah, like you ain't at home. Who else we got in the bed? Where you from, bro? Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. Oh yeah, you from the right Tennessee. I just left God doing Dollywood last week for vacation. And let me tell you, I couldn't wait to get back to Georgia. She's brown. Our brown Indian brothers and sisters. I had to. You excuse, don't worry about it. Everybody been rude as hell all night, probably not anyway. Oh, what they cooking back there? What they cooking? What they got to eat? Fish and what else? Y'all very inactive tonight. I appreciate that. Very inactive tonight. I just got along on my journey as far as like really doing my genealogy and everything. You know, I always knew, you know, like we say we got Indian in our family. But I don't know, I ain't never heard no shit like that. You got some of your family, but that ain't what you is. Like that's the crazy shit ever, goddamn. Like don't nobody walk around like, nigga, I got African in my family. No, they be claiming some shit. Can't name not now African in my phone right there now. Not one. Or not now, like we say down here. Hey, bro, where you come from? Buffalo? You from Buffalo? You Buffalo? I got to be, but you rode a long time. You got your pillow stuck to your neck, goddamn. Somebody ride a long time, y'all. Yeah, we got pictures over here with the red carpet. Pictures over here with the red carpet. Make sure y'all get y'all pictures. Yeah. I used to go over Coach. Yeah, he gonna get his picture. Sit down and be quiet. I'm telling a joke. Now, y'all ain't finna do me any kind of damn way in here. I'ma tell you now. You ain't finna do me any kind of way. You gonna pay me some attention. All right? Y'all gonna sit down and pay me some attention. I'm gonna let you know now. I ain't come way up here for nothing. Urban Indian Lives Matter. I just read his shirt right there. I know it matter. At least I know what damn say while I'm in here. I ain't lying, like I used to go over Coach's house all the time. And every time I went over there, we were different kind of niggas. I was confused like hell. I'm glad we really found the right answer this time. Like for real, I went over the first time, we were black niggas, then we was niggas, and it was just, I'm just glad we know we Indian now. We ain't got to be niggas no more. I just noticed all y'all face when I was saying nigga. Y'all was like, if you say that one more time, I will kick your ass, little boy. Y'all are crazy. I enjoy y'all. What's up? What you doing for? You throwing bottle cap? What is that for? You got to be from Florida. Louisiana. I knew it was one of them. Only y'all do some country ass shit like that. I ain't catching that damn thing. I don't know what's on there, but motherfucker ain't been quarantined and nothing. You just throw the bottle top up here. I don't know. They give me the bill. That's what you give me. But I throw that bill up here, so lay there. You just be lazy, throw a bill up here. I catch it though. I'm glad. So we got Louisiana in the building. Y'all make some noise. Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Louisiana. All right, who else we got in here? Texas. Okay, Texas. What part of Texas? Dallas. Okay, all right, Dallas. That Dallas ain't bullshit. Oh, what I'm talking about, y'all. We look good in here, y'all. All the cousins, I think. At least me and the men, all me and the men cousins. Ladies, don't start there. Yeah, y'all calm down. And they might even play football this year. They gonna put corona all on the football. I hate to tell y'all that. They might well sponsor every league with Corona. Mexican bill, goddamn, COVID-19 sponsor. This commercial is brought to you by COVID-19. Shit gonna be a brand after a while. Y'all made a nice picture that night. All y'all cousins, ain't you? Y'all brother and sister cousins? Brother and sister, I can tell y'all favorite. Well, I already know. She look young though. That's what them good genes do. I know it. You ought to know that. We know you from Florida. They from Florida? No, they from Buffalo. I already talked to them. Yeah, I know. I keep up with it. Yeah, what's her? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, boy. I'm talking about getting a picture made. That's a nice picture. Y'all married? Y'all ain't? Oh. Y'all just together. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Joker find any reason to go get some booty somewhere, don't it? Oh, no, y'all know I ain't lying. Everybody want a nut. Oh, go get your picture. Hurry up, girl. Go get your picture now. You from Dallas, too? You from Dallas? Maryland? Okay, I was born up there, they said. They said I was a military kid. Where you from, brother? Well, that's what I'm talking about. I went that far. I wish I would have. I'd been bilingual. You think so? I am, you right. Yeah. Ebonics in English, I just speak Ebonics. I'm a barber. I ain't got no need for proper English. I cut hair doing today. I ain't got to understand no perfect English. Anybody here got no free band? Anybody got free bands? Anybody got that chime card? Busting them chime card down the hill? Anybody busting down no chime card? All right, cool. I told y'all gonna pay me some attention now. All right, I see where they going. Hey, cuz, give me a good laugh one more time. That's what I'm talking. Appreciate it. They help my self-esteem right there. Let me get some hen, man. Can I get some Hennessy? It might be some Hennessy. Give me some Hennessy. Omar Crazy with 2 E. Yeah, with 2 E. Yeah, with 2 E. Everybody, so I know somebody in here got children. I guess services. Yeah, I want some Hennessy. Give me some hen. You should have got the Douce. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all get some pictures. Don't break that camera though. I ain't say who. I wasn't talking about you. That's gonna be the best picture y'all made all night. That's gonna be a nice, juicy picture. Everything in that picture juicy. Yeah, give me some eye. You know how you fix it. We got a liquor house at the house. Liquor house, G'd up. All right, y'all, I ain't gonna come up here and talk y'all head off, cause y'all look like y'all ADD anyway. Everybody in here got a short attention span. Did anybody got a prescription for Adderall? I need one. I put the wrong pair of pants on. Thought I put on my pants that had Adderalls in it. I ain't got nothing to eat. Oh, appreciate it. I don't know what. Appreciate it. What's your name? Oh, you Phoenix. Sister. All right, I was finna say it, 2 of them in here. I thought y'all look alike. Y'all got the same mama and dad, don't you? Y'all twin. Oh yeah, you damn right. That don't mean that though, cause y'all twin. I'm dead serious. Folk walk around, they ain't got the same mom and dad and they twin. I ain't lying. I know I ain't. I know goddamn well I ain't lying. Let me sip the hen. All right, I got a question. All right. All this stuff going on, the world getting bad. These lesbians out here, I done did a study. They got the most abusive and worst relationship. For real. They even got a drug now for their anxiety and their depression. Do anybody want to know what the drug is called? Anybody want to know what drug called? It's called tricoxidine. I'm letting that sink in. I know some of y'all slow. Called tricoxidin. I can tell that one. We ain't got no studs in the house tonight, I don't think. Stud to beat you up. Yeah, they call it tricoxidin. Don't worry about it. What's up, my boy? Hey, you Lil Wayne cousin? You Kodak cousin. Oh, I ain't know Kodak. I ain't know where the hell Kodak was from. I thought he was from Florida. You do look like Kodak. Nah, I ain't know Louisiana used to be Florida. There used to be Florida, Georgia. So did it skip Florida? Man, I ain't talking to you. You fucking up my damn show. Go sit down. No, you ain't trying to help me out. Sit. You ain't trying to give me a damn thing. You sit down and listen. Everybody in here slow. I'm slow too. Y'all ever been looking for your cell phone and you call somebody looking for your cell phone? Your phone's in your hand. I bet you were high as hell, wasn't you? Higher than? No, yeah, Adderall. Let me tell you something on the Adderall. I got from here to Mississippi in 2 hours on the Adderall. Yes, sir. Y'all give it up for the top flight security in the building tonight. That's my nephew, Goof. Top flight security. He ain't secured a damn thing. Well, budget graduated though, congratulations. I don't know what the hell that gonna mean next year, cause shit. They talking about these kids going to school at home. I don't know about y'all, I'm dropping them motherfuckers off. Shit. I be damn. Be at home. I better not be driving drinking. Hey, Junior, we think we got the police in here, dog. They got police in here. Talking about heat. I better not be driving drinking. You right, though, because I ain't got but one headlight on that motherfucker. Junior, I called Junior ass. Junior's supposed to give me a ride. Nah, I mean Coach. I call him Junior. Coach supposed to give me a ride up here. I'm supposed to ride with him. That's why I'm late. I called him. He talking about he can't give me the... You know how it is. You be trying to depend on people. You really can't. Yeah. I hate them damn masks, though. Don't y'all hate them masks? Hate them masks. I'm going to tell you why I hate them damn masks. I hate them masks I found out my breath stink. I ain't lying. I had that damn mask on from Walmart for 15 goddamn minutes. And I was like, ain't no way in the hell my breath been smelling like this for forever. It just got to be morning breath. But it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, ain't no way in hell that morning breath, goddamn. That's a nice picture right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's nice. That's nice right there. Yep. You know, bo is a white racist word. Oh, I ain't know. All right, y'all, well, I'm the one they call Omar crazy. And he Montana. Montana, sit down now, damn it. Oh, the women. Oh, shit, they keep talking then. Shit. Yeah, you got the green light. Give me that green light. Anybody here still listen to R&B? Y'all know some rap fans in here, and it's a little baby fans in here. Now, Trick and all back in the day used to be real simple. They used to pay a little bill, get gas money, go take out to eat. It'd be real easy. That be your date. But now, it's shit different. Little baby out here talking about $5,000 on a new pair of titties. He buy them like Jordan. How the hell I supposed to compete? How the hell I supposed to compete with somebody buying titties out here? He's make her all up and everything. $2,500 for a new pair of titties I buy like Jordan. All right, well, I ain't gonna bore y'all to death. Where the party at tonight? You. All right, everybody go to Montana. Follow him. Montana, that's your mama. That's your mama. Yeah, you look like your mama, boy. You look like your mama, boy. You look like your mama. Hey, Coach, come get the goddamn microphone.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. We're going to end this
Ho,
show.
ho. I know damn well you ain't finna stand backstage. With your leg. Man, put that blunt down and come out here.
Hey,
Huh?
I'm holding it. I got to hold it in the road, big homie. I got to hold it in the road. We got a real big show tomorrow, y'all. We're going to shut it down. Y'all can just chill, do whatever you want, but it's over. Thank Omar Crazy for coming out, y'all. We're going to see if he's going to come back tomorrow.